When it comes to subcompact hatchback, only a few cars can be considered fun to drive, and the Swift is one of those few cars. Whether you are making a shopping run, driving it on a motorway, or twisty expressway to Murray, the Swift makes every journey fun. The Suzuki Swift is offered with a 1.3-liter engine mated to a manual or automatic transmission with price ranging between 1.3 and 1.5 million rupees with some additional taxes as well. Due to the lack of some obvious omissions in options, I would have to say it is overpriced for what it has to offer.
Underneath the hood, it is powered by a 1.3-liter engine that kicks out 83 horsepower at 6000 rpm and 110 newton meters of torque at 4100 rpm. It delivers fuel economy of 14 kilometers per liter for the manual transmission and 12.5 kilometers per liter for the automatic version. Suzuki tends to have excellent reliability. One negative I would have to say is the short servicing intervals if we compare it to many other modern cars these days. The engine is very responsive to throttle input, especially where you need quick acceleration. As this is a 1300cc into a smaller and lighter body, the power to weight ratio is better than bigger sedan 1300cc cars, and it can give them a run for their money in acceleration. As you know, we here in Pakistan are still getting the Suzuki Swift that was introduced in 2005. Since then, in the international markets, there has been a major facelift of the Swift which changes both to interior and exterior of the car. On the outside, it is the box standard Suzuki Swift from 2005. That's not saying that it's a bad thing, quite the opposite. As we can see, it is a very good looking beast with strong lines and a robust look. After all, it did win a lot of acclaim when it was introduced and was chosen as the small hatchback car of the year on many forums. Overall, the body length is 151.6 inches, width is 66.7 inches, height is 59.4 inches with a wheelbase of 95.7 inches. But having said that, Park Suzuki has ruined the experience by removing some very standard features. As we can see from the rear window, the shape of it is designed with a wiper in mind, which means that the rear window wiper is standard equipment. Park Suzuki has ended up removing it, which has left a big empty black spot on the rear window. The body colored side view mirror only have motorized adjustment and are not retractable. My question is, why is that? With the price that Park Suzuki is charging for the Swift, I believe they can add a rear window wiper and auto folding feature in the side view mirrors very easily. It has halogen type headlamps and fog lamps in the front bumpers, and the DLX model comes up with these beautiful 15-inch alloy wheels wrapped with Bridgestone tires as a standard, fortunately. The quality of the interior of the Swift is very good as far as local cars go. As this car was introduced to rival the imported Wits, they have had to give better build quality and materials than their other older local cars present in the market. It has very good plastic which feels very sturdy with a good feel to the touch. Although it has a decently sized glove box, there is distinct lack of places to stuff things in around the dash. Minor quibble indeed, but it would have been very good to have some sort of storage on top of the dash. It's just a rounded shape which barely has any place to hold any items. We can say that the quality is on par with its imported rivals. The dash is very simple with straightforward controls. The integrated stereo is very good with 4 speakers having very good sound quality.
पुलिस इस प्रोग्राम में हम शामिल करेंगे ITPFM 92.4 ऑफिशियल फैन पेज पर आपके मैसेजेस
Nice sound quality.
हमारे प्रोग्राम का हिस्सा बने हैं.
You can also get this infotainment system with navigation at an additional cost. The instrument cluster is very clear with a very nice layout. All the dials are analog. When the instrument cluster is lit, the colors are very crisp and clear with no light bleed and looks very nice. These front seats provide good seating position and are comfortable. The steering wheel does have tilt adjustment, but it does not have any telescopic adjustment.
Unfortunately, the driver's seat does not have any height adjustment, so some of the drivers would be sitting in a compromised position. The rear seats are not very good, as you can see that there is limited amount of leg room, and any taller person sitting here won't be comfortable, especially for long journeys. Number two, due to its sloping roof line, the rear windows and the rear door windows are smaller in size, and that is why the rear seats feel a little dark and claustrophobic.
At only 215 liters, the trunk space is a bit on the low side. The trunk has an extra hidden compartment, but that means that there is a noticeable step between the boot opening and the boot floor. This makes the loading and unloading of heavy items difficult. You can fold down the rear seats to make a bigger cargo bay.
Now let us start up the engine. Like I said, the 1300cc engine is very smooth and has enough power to tackle the motorways easily. It is steady and aerodynamic, and the car doesn't lose speed quickly if you take your foot off the throttle. However, keep in mind that there are some limits, and on some of the steeper inclines you will find yourself reaching the shifter quite often. On smooth city roads, the car is much planted and gives you a good ride, but you do notice that it has stiff suspension. Now, due to the stiffness of suspension, you'll notice it exaggerating even the smallest bumps, and you feel that the ride fast becomes quite uncomfortable, especially on more rural and pothole covered back roads. In those conditions, it will give you a sore back. The car is much planted in the corners with a good degree of grip. This ensures confident and positive driving experience. The steering wheel feels a bit heavy when the car is stationary, but once it's moving, it is very responsive and provides good feedback. Brakes on this car come standard with ABS for the DLX version and are adequate at doing their job. However, at times we have noticed that they do not do their job very well and lack quick stopping power. This I might attribute to poor adjustment by the local mechanics, or maybe due to use of bad quality brake pads. The Swift is no doubt a very good car, and especially for someone who is looking for a local hatchback, I will recommend this in a heartbeat. But if you are looking around and you want the most bang of your buck, then you have a healthy range of choices. Granted, there are only 3 cars to consider: the Suzuki Swift, the Toyota Vitz and Toyota Passo. But that is plenty. All of them have their merits and demerits. The choice falls to you. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like this video, please leave a comment and do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking here.